Real quick, before we get started, can I have anybody named Michael, real quick, stand up? Thank you. We have successfully completed the mic check. So this is going to be a bit of an abbreviated schedule from previous years. You're welcome, those of you that don't enjoy the heat. And yeah, we'll get started. The graduating class of 2021 would like to welcome you to the 2021 graduation exercises. We'll begin with the land acknowledgement. We respectfully acknowledge that this event is taking place on the traditional territory of the Blackfoot Confederacy in southern Alberta, including the Kainai Nation. As staff and students of the Cardston High School, we would like to take a moment of silence to pause and reflect and recognize the numerous unmarked graves of Indigenous children at residential schools across Canada. Now, we wish to recognize the elected officials and their other dignitaries that are with us this evening. And would you please stand when your names are read? Audience, if you can hold your applause until all the names have been read. I know it's going to be hard. Westwind trustees, Mrs. Patricia Beezer, Mrs. Anna Joyce Frank, and Mr. Doug Smith. Deputy Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Austin Nunn. And it's crazy because when I was in grade 6, this guy kissed a goat in front of the whole school. He's come a long way. CHS Principal, Mr. Ken McMurray, the legend himself. And again, hold your applause until the end. Representing Town of Cardston, we have Mayor Maggie Cronin. And she's been the mayor as long as I can remember, actually. We have CHS Vice Principals, Mr. Cody Toon and Mr. Stephen Gibbings, the pranksters. And the Cardston Siksika MLA, Mr. Joseph Scow. Applause now, if you would. There it is. That's better. We will now have our invocation by Mr. Gary Fox, and then you'll get to hear from me again, and we'll explain the rest of the meeting.
Our dear Heavenly Father, we are grateful for all these students here tonight, for their hard work, determination, and perseverance throughout the challenges they experienced through this COVID pandemic year. We are grateful for their parents and extended families who offered love and support and are here tonight and join with them to celebrate this very important milestone in their lives. We are grateful for the teachers and staff of the Cardston High School for their efforts in developing new and creative ways to teach during a pandemic, and their understanding and willingness to teach all students, regardless of race, social status, or ability. We ask that thou bless this group of young men and women as they go out into the world that they might attain their goals, their educational and career goals, and that they might reflect and remember those lessons that they learned in this difficult past years to help motivate them and be successful in their endeavors. And to, not only that, but to help those in need of help, those around them, to be successful as well. In conclusion, our dear Creator, we ask that thou bless those Indigenous children, parents, and communities whose students never returned from residential schools they were first forced to attend. And I say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
First up, we will have a principal's address by Mr. McMurray. Then we'll have a special musical number by Mrs. Deirdre Infanti. Then we'll have our valedictory address by Mr. Michael Hornberger, class president address by Mr. Brady Berry, it's me, and the presentation of certificates by the administration. And then awards and scholarships will be online at 9 p.m. tonight, streamed to the same place that this is being streamed. And then we will have our recessional.
Man, is it nice to gather again, isn't it? Oh my gosh. Woo! I love seeing this gym full, and so it just really pulls at my heartstrings. That's what this gym is for, is to gather. Special guests, parents, grandparents, teachers, and students, it's a pleasure to be with you tonight as we recognize and honor the graduating class of 2021. So great to see this gym with crowds again. I have missed this. You have missed this. It has been a very trying 16 months, but yet you graduates are here, and we applaud your effort and resiliency through these tough times. I have to be honest and admit that I have not enjoyed being the principal this past year. It has been so difficult walking through the halls policing students to wear masks. What I would rather have done is roam the halls high-fiving you all and asking you about what's going on in your lives. I hope I haven't offended any of you, and I hope you know how much I admire and appreciate you and your resilience through these weird times. Parents, thanks for raising such good students. You should be proud to know that your students can do hard things. I'd like to pay tribute to our Carson High School staff. I work with an amazing group of people, and you students are lucky to be taught and taken care of by these EAs, custodians, and teachers. Can you give them a big round of applause, please? Tonight I would like to pay tribute to this graduating class and also a few people who will also be leaving us. And I believe you learn so much by watching what others value. And tonight I hope that all of us can learn a trait or two that can benefit us in our own lives. Mr. Tim Taylor is moving on to his hometown. He got a job in Carstairs. That's where he's from, and his wife's from there too. And he took a job at his high school there to teach shop. And so I just want to talk a little bit about Mr. Taylor. He came to me one day near about a month ago, and he said, there's about 3 or 4 lathes in the shop that I need to get fixed. And he's fixed everything in the shop up to this point. And I kind of wondered, and he's like, it's probably going to cost about $250. And in my mind, I thought to myself, why does he even worry about this? Because he's moving on, and those lathes haven't been used for quite a few years. They've been broken down. And then it occurred to me that he's that kind of a person. And he's this kind of a person. This is the quote by Joe Ehrman. Develop a cause beyond yourself and try to leave the world a better place because you are here. And so students, think about that as you go on into the workforce, into school. Leave this world a better place because you are there. Mr. Paul Sloan is retiring this year as well, and I'd like to pay tribute to him. And this quote by T.H. White kind of makes me think of Mr. Sloan. The best thing for being is to learn something. That's the only thing that never fails. You may grow old and trembling in your anatomies. You may lie awake at night listening to the disorder of your veins. You may miss your only love. You may see the world about you devastated. You may know that your honor is trampled in the sewers of baser minds. There is only one thing for it then, to learn. Learn why the world wags and what wags it. That is the only thing which the mind can never exhaust, never alienate, never be tortured by, never fear or distrust, and never dream of regretting. Learning is the only thing for you. Look what a lot of things there are to learn. So be a lifelong learner like Mr. Sloan. I have never seen anyone so skilled at so many things. In his discussion of what it takes to become a top performer in a given field, Malcolm Gladwell offered a catchy phrase, the 10,000 hour rule. According to this rule, it takes 10,000 hours of practice to become a master in most fields. Now, I don't know how much time Mr. Sloan has spent learning how to master his hobbies, whether it be technology, photography, hiking, camping, playing the piano, and all the other interests he's involved in, but it is probably staggering. His curiosity is admirable and has been a model for all of his many students over the years. The way to build relationships in teaching is to let your students know what you do outside of the school. If one was just a teacher, that would be a pretty boring existence. So students, be a lifelong learner. Learning never ends. Find something you're passionate about and spend the time learning how to perfect it. Finally, I have learned about resilience from you graduates. You have experienced 16 months of little to no sports, no dances, no assemblies, no social activities, and little to any fun here at Carson High School. This was your senior year, and as your recent sign on the outside of the building said, this year forkin' sucked. And you were right, but what is incredible is how you have made the most of this year. You have made your own fun, and you have overcome the difficulties of being sick, close contact, COVID jail for 2 weeks, 3 stints of online delivery, and here you are. I could not be more proud. Now, I wanted to give you some advice with the above in mind because you will face more difficulties in your life, some much more difficult than COVID-19. What will you do? How will you respond? Nelson Mandela said, the greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. And of course, you've heard this Michael Jordan quote, I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. Jose N. Harris said, there comes a time in your life when you walk away from all the drama and the people who create it. You surround yourself with people who make you laugh. You forget the bad and focus on the good. You love the people who treat you right, pray for the ones who do not, because life is too short to be anything but happy. Falling down is a part of life. Getting back up is living. Graduates, please don't play the victim card every time something bad happens to you. We have too many people in this world who want to blame others for their mishaps. Choose to not be offended easily. We know that people are not perfect. Some people are mean and will treat you poorly, but the majority of people in this world are good. Try your best to be a forgiving person because we do not know what others are going through. Mel Robbins once said, forgive others not because they deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve peace. Graduates, if you want to be happy in this life, you need to learn forgiveness. Continue to be resilient with a mindset that life is hard, but overcoming trials is what builds character in us and allows us to grow. Finally, I am so proud of each one of you graduates tonight, and I'm excited for what the next 5 years holds for you, in store for you. I hope you come back often and tell us what you're doing. Thank you and best of luck.
This is my friend Nick. That's actually from my home ward in Edmonton, if you can believe that. But he lives in Lethbridge. He didn't come that far. This song is called Ablaze. So hope you like it. We have to do one quick sound thing first. First thing that you'll notice is some separation from each other. Yes, it's a lie. We've been believing since time immemorial. There was an apple, there was a snake, there was division. There was a split, there was a conflict in the fabric of life. One became two, and then everyone was out for themselves. Everyone was pitted against each other. Conflict ruled the realm. All our devotions and temperaments are pulled from different wells. We seem to easily forget we are made of the same cells. To my boy, all that energy so vital, love your hues and your blues in equal measure, your comings and your goings away. My mission is to keep the light in your eyes ablaze. Second thing you'll notice is that often we think that there's not enough. It might feel dark, it might feel lonely, and you wonder why you're here. You may be overcome with darkness and a sense of hopelessness, but it won't matter if you keep the core connected to the oneness. To my girl, all your innocence and fire when you reach out. I am here, hell or high water. This nest is never going away. My mission is to keep the light in your eyes ablaze. And this cord is unbreakable. The pilot light is there in your pocket. And these bonds beyond unshakable. Even if we all forgot all at the same time. If we forgot at the same time. To my boy, my precious gentle warrior, to your sweetness and your strength in exploring. May this bond stay with you through all your days. My mission is to keep the light in your eyes. To my girl, all your innocence and fire when you reach out. I am here, hell or high water. This nest is never going away. My mission is to keep the light in your eyes ablaze. First thing that you'll notice is that everything is temporary. Next thing you might notice is that we will always be a family. Mission is to keep the light in your eyes ablaze.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to start by saying congratulations to all of my classmates who have all persevered through many difficulties and finally made it. We're now graduating, officially done high school. I would also like to thank the people who helped get us here today. First, thank you to our parents and guardians who raised us and taught us and kept pushing us to be better. We wouldn't be here today without you, so thank you for all that you've done. Next, thank you to the amazing teachers and staff who went through the exact same things we did this year, but were still able to do a great job of teaching us and providing us with the knowledge and ability to succeed. But now it's over. We won't be coming back to school here in the fall, and we'll be moving out into the world. So what's next? What are we supposed to do after all of this? Well, now we get to pursue our dreams. Right now we have unlimited potential, so our dreams are a very real possibility. However, that doesn't mean it will be easy. It's going to be difficult, and we are going to fail sometimes, but we can still make it. Albert Einstein once said, "In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity." This has been evident through this entire school year. It's been difficult because of all of the challenges from COVID-19. We've had to push through quarantines and self-isolation. We've had to do school online, and we've had to wear masks wherever we go. But in the middle of all of that difficulty, we have had more opportunities to do well than ever before. Hopefully, the pandemic will end soon, but when it does, the future will still be difficult. In many ways, it will be more difficult than everything has been so far, but we will have the opportunity to do what we want, and we can use that opportunity to reach our dreams as long as we keep trying and never give up. Einstein also said, "Never give up on what you really want to do. The person with big dreams is more powerful than the one with all the facts." You don't have to be brilliant to achieve your goals and dreams. You don't have to be the valedictorian to do amazing things. The title valedictorian doesn't mean very much to me because many of you are at least as smart as I am, and probably all of you would be better at giving the speech than I am. So don't sell yourself short. Reach for the stars. Einstein said, "Only those who attempt the absurd can achieve the impossible." So attempt the absurd. Do something crazy. You can all do incredible things if you just try and never give up. We have learned quite a bit over the last 12 years, and it shouldn't stop just because we're graduating. We should continue to learn from every situation that we find ourselves in, and from every person that we meet. Einstein said, "Intellectual growth should commence at birth and only cease at death." We need to keep learning for our entire lives because there's so much information in the universe that it would take an infinite number of lifetimes to learn it all. Isaac Newton said, "What we know is a drop, and what we don't know is an ocean." He also said, "I do not know what I may appear to the world, but to myself I seem to have been only like a boy playing on the seashore, and diverting myself in now and then, finding a smoother pebble or a prettier shell than ordinary, whilst the great ocean of truth lay all undiscovered before me." And Einstein said, "The most incomprehensible thing about the world is that it is comprehensible." The world and the universe are so big that it seems impossible for us to ever understand it all, but we can understand bits of it. Einstein also said the important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existence. One cannot help but be in awe when he contemplates the mysteries of eternity, of life, of the marvelous structure of reality. It is enough if one tries merely to comprehend a little of this mystery each day. We may never be able to comprehend the entire universe, but what we do learn will be worth it, so we have to keep learning everything we can, a bit every day, so that it'll build up throughout our whole lifetime. Not only can we learn lots from the universe, but we can also learn from every person in the universe. Galileo once said, "I have never met a man so ignorant that I couldn't learn something from him." Every person you meet will have something you can learn from them, so pay attention to everyone and always try and learn from whoever you meet, no matter who they are. If we do this, if we keep learning and never give up on what we want to do, we will achieve great things. If we continue to be relentless in our pursuit of excellence, we will go far. It doesn't matter if you think you aren't very smart or don't have many talents. Both Isaac Newton and Albert Einstein thought that they weren't very special. Newton said, "My powers are ordinary, only my application brings me success." And Einstein said, "I have no special talents, I am only passionately curious." They both said they didn't have special skills, but they still did and discovered amazing things. It is the same for all of you. You don't need amazing talents to do amazing things. And you don't have to do them by yourself either. You can and should accept other people's help. Isaac Newton also said, "If I have seen further than others, it is by standing upon the shoulders of giants." There are plenty of giants in our day as well, whose shoulders we can stand on to achieve our dreams, and then become able to help others with their dreams too. And if you meet the occasional person who doesn't think you can achieve your dreams and tells you just how unlikely they are, just respond in the way that Han Solo did to C-3PO when he said, "Never tell me the odds." Keep learning and never give up. Thank you.
All right, my turn. So at first, I thought I'd talk about the future. It's coming, it's big, it's fast. We can't avoid it, it's deep. Then I thought, nah. Maybe I can say stuff about hope or something inspiring. And then I sat down, started thinking, and I thought, this is the single most awkward thing that I've ever done in my life, and I'm done with this. So I decided that I'm just going to have some fun with it. Inspiring for the valedictorian, which actually is fantastic, by the way. And unlike him, president does kind of mean something to me. It means I get to joke around with all the teachers and not catch any trouble for it. I don't even want to be inspiring, really. It's just boring. I really wanted to say to you guys, we're out. We're done. We did it, most of us. And people sometimes ask me, like, what are you going to do after high school? And I can only describe it as after you go to a movie where, the lights turn off and everybody awkwardly shuffles past each other out the door, and then you're hungry and you go get some food, and that's exactly what I plan to do. I don't know about you guys. We did it, and I have to say, we did it with total style. How many classes of Cardston High can say that we were here to see so much change in such a short period of time? We came in annoying little twerps in grade 9. We weren't as bad as the batch we got these days, but we were quite the handful. We saw the transformation of Mr. Strang go from the dad bod to a father figure. I noticed my friends growing and maturing. Some of them are even starting to color inside the lines now. I wouldn't expect to continue, but. Then there's, of course, the online and distance school that swept the country, and to put it nicely, it was awful. Awful to the point where forks were used, a statement was made, it was blamed on me. It's all water under the bridge, I forgive you, Tim. The one constant of this year had to be the shine off the bald heads of Mr. Sloan and Mr. Pearson, I gotta say. They never let me down. First of which is actually finishing his career at CHS with us grads, and thank you, Paul A.D., for your service. Hope to see you a DJ at the future parties to come. Most importantly, we as people, the graduates, we changed. We're all leaving different than we came in. It's not defined as a good or bad change in all cases, but it's us figuring out who we are. And I know I'm a long way from figuring myself out completely. I've only just gotten started. There's a long road ahead for all of us, really. And how we walk or run or don't move at all will be just as different as we are from each other. Although what matters most is that we have some fun with it. Smile every once in a while. When we were in 10th grade, some of my buddies and I played on the volleyball team, which occasionally took trips for tournaments. One specific example was the Medicine Hat tournaments, where the highlight reel was endless. Not because we were good at volleyball, that was rarely the case. But it was more for the guys that I went with, the parties that we had. The reason we all loved the Med Hat trips was for the lodge that we stayed in. Free Wi-Fi, water slides, cute girls, breakfast, all combined. made it a trip to remember. Except we were all a little too chicken to do anything about the girls' situation. Boys, be prepared. I'm going to call you out big time. When people think about the Mad Hat Lodge, they usually think about the water slides. Me personally, I think about the guys that I went with. For this particular grade 10 adventure, I was rooming with Davin, Graydon, Hayden, and Ermon and Jeremy were popping over constantly. And Hayden and I were on supposed best behavior. At the time, our coaches were Kent Winder and Charberry, his father and my mother. Fierce as a tempest when they're angry. They would tune us both up real quick if the need arose. As soon as the guys and I got to the room and out of sight of the coaches, Hayden took one look at the bed. Grin covers his face. Immediately, he says, "Let's jump on the beds. My parents never let me." The rest of us, with our astute levels of common sense, happily complied. We bounced back and forth, we're flipping and slamming and crashing into each other, and of course, eventually the beds had enough. Graydon, mid-flip, hears the crack of the frame of his squishy destination. It scared us all into submission. We stopped dead in our tracks, silent. The horsing around was done, and it was obviously Jeremy and Ermon that were at fault because they're so much bigger than the rest of us. Then Davin comes out of the bathroom, unaware of the deafening crunch that we'd all just witnessed, and like a caped crusader launches himself with all his might into the air, soaring. Time passed so painfully for everyone else in the room. We knew our demise was imminent. Davin came down with a thundering crack, and the bed snapped, broken. At that moment, we knew. We messed up. We all started yelling at each other about whose fault it was and who had to tell the coaches. Hayden and I were sure as heck not doing it. We would die. We all knew exactly how far in the wrong we had been, but without a doubt, there isn't one of those guys out there right now that isn't smiling remembering this tragedy. There's no better teacher than experience. It is a funny story. I love to remember it. To this day, I don't jump on beds ever, and I'll tell you this story for two reasons. One, it's funny, and two, it is without a doubt the most accurate description of how teenagers act that I've ever heard. I can think of no better example than high school. Everyone is different, we've all made our own mistakes, have our own funny traits and ticklish spots. And that's what makes it fun being here together, that we don't take life too seriously, and that we have some fun with it, mess up, learn from those stories. Otherwise, when will we do pranks or stupid stunts, tell jokes, or do things that are only slightly illegal, and lie about it all to our parents? By the way, I've never done anything that my mom and dad wouldn't approve of. I'm a perfect little angel boy. We all have our own particular little passions. Whether you're an artist, explorer, player, people person, maker of things, or maybe you're just really into memes, whatever your passion is, it can be the thing that makes you go, keeps you going, and defines you as you. Whatever it is, I ask of you one favor. Enjoy it. When I come around in 20 years and we have flying cars and hoverboards and coronavirus quarantine is just ending, and I see somebody that I went to high school with, I want to see a confident, strong, awesome individual killing it in whatever they do. So I can see you and say, "Hey, I know you. I had physics with you." Because I will. I'll do it. I'm proud to know you people. Every one of you here has made an impact on me and who I am now. I'll forever be grateful that I got to be around you guys. As cheesy it is, it's true. You've changed me. And I have no issue letting anyone and everyone know that I'm proud to know you guys. The Cougar spirit connects us, and I'm really sorry for how weird that sounds. It's just how it is. Just one privilege of going to public school together is we get to have awkward interactions at the grocery store for the rest of our lives, and I'm looking forward to it. So without being too repetitive, keep on being you. Enjoy the little things. Smile, laugh when you can, and maybe we can survive the chaos to come. Without further ado, get on to the parties, the mistakes, the insanity, the laughter, and the glory days to come. And CHS, keep killing it.
We'd like to invite the trustees to join us on the stage as we present the certificates of graduation to this year's class. Ladies and gentlemen, the graduating class of 2021. Montana Aiken, Eden Atwood. Aramon Atwood. Jeremy Barber. Michael Beezer. Rachel Bechtel. Alana Bennett. Brady Berry. Cannon Bevins. Nathel Blackwater. Jaden Bamey. Hunter Bourne. Connor Boltzma. Sean Burt. Donald Campbell. Lindy Card. Catherine Conrad. Bronwyn Crawford. Luke Creed. Anthony Darden. Ethan Demers. Katie Erickson. Jorge Felix. Akira Gooden. Cody Hall. Summer Halleck. Abigail Hardy. Tonjay Healy. Hunter Heavy Runner. Aaliyah Henniger. Jazz Hilderman. Kira Hinch. Michael Hornberger. Sam Hudson. Ashlyn Infanti. Jada Jensen. Dixie Keeling. Tiki Levitt. Jill Leishman. Rhett Lewis. Tony Martinez. Micah McCarthy. Tyler Merrill. Haley Mills. Abby Nelson. Fallon Nelson. Cameron Nelson. Jonathan Oka. Brinley Olson. Kendi Olson. Hope Polinchuk. Hannah Peterson. Marissa Peterson. Dade Pearson. Cade Powelson. Kiara Rabbit. Grant Ranger. Caden Ringwald. Morgan Ross. Brennan Rusk. Zach Snore. Braxton Scott. Hunter Seeley. Blakely Shaw. Jordan Shipley. Kylie Shipley. Willis Shipley. Janae Shoop Nish. Leighton Singer. Tyler Sloan. Sheldon Smith. Carly Soper. Andrew Spotted Bull. Jed Tadina. Tegan Tailfeathers. Caleb Talmadge. Rylan Tanner. Raiden Thiessen. Katie Ubel. Lindsay Vadney. The Colton Vornbrock. Zoe Vornbrock. Emma Walters. Brianne Watson. Hayden Weaselhead. Riley West. Kaylin Whitequills. Kyle Whitaker. Alexa Williams. Eliza Wood. Shaylee Wright. Hayden Winder. Caitlin Winder. Kyle Winder. And Kaysen Whitequills. Some of you may notice that amongst our graduates, we had a missing seat tonight. 2019, we lost a dear fellow friend, athlete, son and brother in Briggs Holland. And tonight we honor him, who would have been graduating with us. We're going to have Rhett Lewis present Briggs's graduation cap to his parents, Steve and Tracy, who are here with us tonight. Thank you, Rhett. We love you, Stephen Tracy, and we miss Briggs. Ladies and gentlemen, we now present to you the graduating class of Cardston High School for 2021. Congratulations, graduates! You made it! Now, if it's possible, grab your caps and then return to your seats as we prepare for your final departure. One more round of applause. Congratulations, graduates. Have fun tonight and be safe. Thank you. This concludes our ceremony. Thank you, everybody, for coming to support our graduates.